If you've been paying any amount of attention, you've seen what's going on in Cuba. The people in Cuba that have been living under communist rule their entire lives are sick of it. They've had enough. And there's a revolution going on. They've taken to the streets. And they know full well the consequences of their actions in Cuba. When you take to the streets and protest and say no more, you're going to be killed. You're going to be imprisoned. You're going to be tortured. They're going to go after your family. They're going to take everything you have. And maybe all of the above. But it doesn't matter to them. Just like it didn't matter to the colonists back in 1776 when they fought against the British to earn our independence. The people of Cuba want liberty. They're in the streets chanting Libertad, holding American flags high in the sky. The media tells you that they're really protesting against the embargo that was strengthened by the Trump administration. The people of Cuba, I'm here to tell you, they're glad that Trump strengthened the embargo. You know why? Because when you do business with a communist country, they keep all the money. And you know what they do with that money? They spend it on things like themselves and weapons. And you know what weapons do? It strengthens their ability to oppress the people that want libertad. So, you might be tricking some people in America with your fake news and your false narrative and your disinformation. But you're not fooling me, and you're not fooling the Cuban people. You know who else you're not fooling? China. The Biden administration took 5 days before they even acknowledged what was happening in Cuba. And it went something like this. Well, torture and political oppression and imprisoning people for stuff like that is, it's not good. But, it's Cuba, and it's Trump did this. Right. Sure. It's always Trump's fault. Always blame it on the last guy. You know what that does? That gets nothing done. But it actually does get something done. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Because China will come into play. But I'll assume for a second, let's just play fantasy for a minute, and pretend that America is still the most powerful, good-natured, protective sheepdog of a country that it always has been, and that we're going to go do the bidding of people that just want libertad, liberty, freedom, the right to do, say, and act as they wish without being punished, beaten, imprisoned, tortured. That's what should be happening. We should be down there right now, and it wouldn't take us long. The United States is home to the strongest fighting force this world has ever seen. You need volunteers? Put me on the list. I would be honored to go to Cuba and fight for the people of Cuba and help liberate them. It wouldn't take us long. And I guarantee you this, there's a lot of Americans that would follow right in my path. And it wouldn't take us long to get the job done. Now, the Biden administration plans on doing nothing of the sort. The Biden administration, we need to start to learn that they like communism, they like socialism, they want it for America, they want it for you, they want it for themselves. They want it for themselves because they'll be the ones that remain at the top. You'll sink to the bottom, and you'll be the ones that have had enough one day chanting Libertad in the streets. And you'll reflect back on the good old days when you really did have liberty and you took it for granted. To all the people that take to the streets in the name of social justice, burning American flags, your own neighborhoods, looting stores and stealing things, all you are criminals. You're not social justice warriors. To the people that take a knee on the football field like Colin Kaepernick, who's sponsored by Nike, here's a newsflash for you. Nike makes their stuff in China. China has concentration camps. They perform genocide through rape. They believe in slave labor, and they use it to produce the goods that you wear. So you're not really just a social justice warrior. You're only a hypocrite. To Gwen Rottenberry, the woman who threw the t-shirt over her face after placing third in the qualifier rounds for hammer throwing at the Olympics, that was just a temper tantrum. You just wanted attention. You said, well, I didn't come in first place, so I've got to get some sort of attention because, unfortunately, third place doesn't get you much attention these days. And it shouldn't, because the Olympic Games is about athleticism and greatness and winning. Coming in first place, that's what no one goes into the Olympics saying, I really want to get the bronze medal or do poorly in the qualifying rounds. So instead she threw a temper tantrum because she knew it would work. People would fall for it. What kind of social justice warrioring is she doing right now? Or was it just the t-shirt incident, the temper tantrum, the attention seeking? City of the administration, the Biden administration, stop worrying about selling your son's bullshit crack pipe blow art and go down to Cuba and free the people who want Libertad. Do the right thing. But you won't, because I know that you want socialism, you support it, you like it, you want to cultivate it, you want it for this country, and you're going to leave a big void, an opportunity for China to go into Cuba, create new concentration camps for the Cuban people who want Libertad, and maybe, just maybe, we'll have Cuban Missile Crisis 2.0 on our hands. They're 90 miles away from the tip of Key West. 90 miles away from the United States, and we're sitting here doing nothing. Again, you need help? Put me on the list. I'm sure there's thousands, if not millions, of Americans who would gladly follow behind me in an effort to free the Cuban people. To the Biden administration, you're an absolute disgrace to America, what it means to be American, to the Constitution, to the United States flag, and to liberty itself. You fleeced the world, you fooled America, and you're probably sitting somewhere in the White House, high-fiving your son Hunter and saying, you took the crack pipe, you turned it around, you're blowing paint around, and now we're making $500,000 off of each piece of BS art that my 5-year-old could produce. We're on to you. We see what's going on. Even your friends at CNN are starting to call you out on this nonsense artwork sales. If Eric Trump started selling blow art, there would be outrage. It's all you'd hear about. But instead, when there's a revolution happening 90 miles away from our southernmost tip, you blame it on the previous administration to avoid acknowledging the problem. You're also exposing the nation to one of our biggest competitors, adversaries, and one that said that they're going to take over the world very soon. So, to the American people, I say wake up. Remain silent no longer, because being the silent in the silent majority has led us to this point in the first place. So get involved, run for office, petition your government, and tell them that you want a redress of your grievances, because it's our First Amendment right to do so. We will not comply, we will resist, we will hold on to our God-given, unalienable rights as Americans and remain free. You will never make America a communist nation, not on my watch, not while my heart's beating. And I think I speak for just about half, if not more, of America. Not on my watch. To my audience, I pray for you, the Constitution, your families, the people of Cuba, Libertad, liberty, and for freedom. And I pray for what's left of the not-so-United States of America. I'm your host, Jason Mariner. This is Real Republican News, and I refuse to remain silent, and so should you. Be well, everyone.